Welcome to the Toni and Ryan podcast. My name is Ryan. This is Dr. Author Toni Lodge.
Hello.
And we are calling God's country.
Perth.
Yep, it's Shauna and...
Shauna the sheep. Shauna the sheep.
Shauna the Sherpa.
Sheep.
Shauna the Sherpa.
Shauna the sheep.
One of the most wholesome jobs in the world.
A sheep.
Hello.
Hello, Shauna.
Hi, how are you going?
We're good.
I just said you've got the most wholesome job in the world. What do you do, Shauna?
I'm a children's librarian.
Yep, that's wholesome as fuck.
Yep, sing and read to kids.
Wow. That sounds really fun. Do you love it?
I do. It's a very good time.
What side of the river are you on, Shauna?
Yeah.
Whereabouts do you live?
Oh, I'm on the best side. I'm on the north side.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. She knows what's
Interesting.
up.
Whereabouts?
Did you grow up south?
I grew up south
Whereabouts?
but moved north
North.
as soon as I fucking turned 18.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, get on
Oh,
the good side.
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say I have like real pride of the north, even though I lived in North Freo, like 5 meters from the water.
Yeah, so it doesn't, yeah.
The most south you can get of the north.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Yep, and I stand by that.
You got to take them with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shauna, will you approve today's episode?
I will.
Legend.
Hi, it's Shauna from Perth, and I approve today's podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. We've just
Hello.
stumbled across a new topic as we were chatting in the office, and I said, hit the fucking record button.
Hit the button,
What
sweetheart.
is the difference? And this is global knowledge that the rest of the world can learn about Australia.
Yeah.
The differences between Perth and the east coast of Australia. Because
Yeah.
Perth is its own country on the other side of the mainland. Is the most...
Isolated capital city in the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's also a dry heat.
The heat is dry.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you say you and your dad did?
Oh, so if we used to, we would go down for a surf or whatever,
Yeah.
and you'd drive down on the beach and he'd be like,
Jail.
Oh.
Please continue.
Well, yeah, he'd be like, fuck, jump in, and
Yeah.
you'd have a bit of a bell down the thing.
Yeah.
I've just learnt that you can't drive on the beach in Victoria,
So once in WA, Western Australia, dry heat,
where I'm from.
we drove on the beach, lit a fire,
Yeah.
and had a beer, like pretty innocent stuff. Sun's going down, watch the sunset, fire
Yeah.
on, have a beer.
And that's pretty, what you're
you
saying
would
is
be
normal
in
to me.
jail for decades if you did that over
That's
here.
insane.
Driving on the beach, 5 to 10 years. A fire at the beach? Fuck, are you serious? An extra 5 or 10 years. Drinking, first of all, alcohol in a public place. See you later, bro.
That's a bit
Glass,
different now.
Drinking in a glass bottle, there's another 10. Yeah, I reckon you're looking at 30 years.
Fuck.
No way. And then, one day I was in WA, we're driving, Australind, how it's that weird bit along the water. And it
Yeah,
kinda just goes
where
forever.
Preston is. Yeah.
So this guy's driving, we're driving along the road, and there must have been surfers or campers or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy's driving along, kind of like looking out the beach, looking, what do you call that bit of
the
water?
dunes. Oh.
Yeah, the dunes and the water. It's not
Yeah.
quite the ocean because it's more of a bay.
Do you mean in Preston? I think I know what
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
And so he's just looking out the window and whilst driving. And at one stage he obviously went, yeah, this spot will do, and just drives off the road. It wasn't like take the next exit to the campsite.
Nah, it's like the track that's through the sand dunes
Yeah,
or
and he
whatever.
just obviously saw something he liked and went, yep.
Yeah,
And
that's
just
it.
pulls off into the sand dunes towards the water and obviously went, yeah, we'll camp here. And I was like,
Everything you're saying is so normal to me.
yeah.
My brother once went to a beach bonfire rave. How much does
Can you
that...
please put 3 of my favorite words together in the same sentence?
Yeah, and it was this massive bonfire, massive party,
Yeah.
and and it was on the beach, so it's
Fuck yeah.
already you're like, that's pretty cool, but also people drinking near the water, potentially dangerous.
Yep.
Well, it was because he lost his glasses, his mobile phone, and his keys.
Yeah, but I do
at
that
this beach.
3 times a week, not abiding by it.
And we were in Broome, and so
yeah.
his car was with us in Broome, and he's
Yeah.
like, well, what am I gonna do? So his best friend had to break into mum and dad's house and find the spare key and next day express it to us in Broome. So that, because
I
back
thought
in
you
the
were
day,
going to say drive it up.
No. He next day expressed it fucking DHL.
Yeah.
Probably cost him $75 or
Yeah,
something
far out.
to get the car key up to Broome so that he could use his car while we were on holiday.
All right.
And it was probably parked somewhere that he was paying per hour or something.
Doesn't that sound like a teen movie?
Yes.
Just like, hey, everyone's heading down the beach for a bonfire party.
Yeah. It sounds very OC.
Yeah.
Like I think the first scene in the first episode of the OC where he's like, welcome to the OC, bitch. They're at like a bonfire on the beach.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Those vibes. Yeah. And
All
Jamie went to this party and like
Fuck yeah. I want to know what's more strange. What we're discussing or like it'll be
like
strange
in your
either way.
area. Yeah.
Like you think it's strange that you
can't
couldn't
do that
here. Whereas I'm like, oh my God, I got to Western Australia. I was like, this is fucking the place. This is weird. I
It's
love
sick,
it.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
And that's why it is God's country.
It really, truly is.
I once said, oh yeah, laws haven't made it out there yet. Because when I lived in Queensland, I said like, people go, where do you live? And I said 1994.
Yeah.
Because they're just like so far behind.
It's not that far behind.
But WA, it's different. It's not a behind in a bad way. It's just like, oh yeah, laws. We do that sometimes.
It's chill.
All good.
It's chill.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I don't need a law to tell me to just be careful. And if I slip up, then I'll fall off the fucking beach wagon.
And that's my bad.
And that's on me. Don't ruin everyone else's fun.
Yeah. If I can have fun respectfully and responsibly.
Don't ruin everyone else's fun because you fell over at a foam party and broke your face.
Yeah. It really is God's country. It truly is a dry heat.
Welcome to the show. It's a Thursday. Let's do normal or nah.
Yay.
Oh, actually, I think I'm just on my high horse for a bit.
What do you want to talk about?
Maybe I'll turn this into a normal or nah.
We can do normal or nah after this if you want. Do you need a little simmer down?
People who put a splash of cold water in a cup of tea can fuck right off.
Oh, Jesus fucking RMS Titanic Christ.
There was a debacle. Another debacle before. It's been all happening in the office.
It's a big day.
Yeah.
The thing is, okay, let me set the scene for everybody.
Please.
I said out loud, I was like, I'm going to put on the cuppa. Anybody want a cup of tea, darling? Is what I said. And Ryan goes, oh, I'd love a cup of tea. And I said, how would you like it? Because we've got a few different types of tea. They all are prepared differently. I said, do you want an Earl Grey or do you want a herbal one? And you gave me very, very specific instructions. You said, I'd like an Earl Grey with a of honey.
I'd say that's a bit even too.
And then
just a of honey.
And then
the squeezy thing. That makes sense if you got a squeezy honey.
And then
how much honey?
And you specifically said not
yeah. Yep.
Which I understood.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, and a splash of milk, a whisper of milk.
A suggestion of milk.
A rumour of milk.
Yeah.
And I even double checked what type of milk that you would like because we have oat and we've got cow and we've got almond in the fridge. And so after you had given me all of those very specific instructions, I prepared the tea as you had desired. I then brought a cup over to the water cooler and you, I would say, screamed at me.
No, I did not. I don't scream at anyone.
Oh, it was pretty aggressive.
No.
And I went, what? You went, you didn't say any words, just grumbled at me. And I was like, what? And you're like, what are you doing?
I didn't say
yes,
like that.
You did.
What are you doing?
You're making yourself sound really good here. You were like, what are you doing? And I was like, putting water in my tea, putting water in this tea. And you're like, oh, no. And I was like, yours is done. This is mine. You had given me very specific instructions as if I would then derail.
People who splash cold water in cups of tea can fuck right off.
Nah, I
What's
disagree.
the point of boiling the water in the first place if you're just going to cool it down with cold water?
Nah,
it is a hot drink.
But it's still hot. To then put a splash of cold water in it just means I can drink it straight away. Otherwise, if I set it down and go, I'll let that cool, I don't drink any of it. I don't drink any of it. And then it's stone cold and I might as well just had a cup of hot, cold water and tell myself to fuck off.
Will you drink a cold cup of tea just to like prove a point?
No, I don't like it. It gets a weird texture when it's cold.
So during the Tarpathon, Lockie, who is like a friend of a friend who just said, hey, I can be the guy who gets the Uber Eats bag and runs downstairs and blah, blah, blah. Lovely guy. He made me a great cup of tea.
Did he?
Yep. And I said, I'll sit that down there.
Oh.
Some time had passed. And because Lockie was so pumped because he nailed it. I had one sip and I've gone, you've nailed that. And he goes, oh, great. Yeah,
and was it the same as like the Earl Grey with a of
no,
honey?
it was a herbal, but it still had a of honey. And
nice.
But the ratios were all good.
Perfect.
And I've gone, you've nailed that. And he goes, yeah, thanks, man. And like he was a bit chuffed about it. And so then I sat it down and didn't drink another sip of it for like 3 hours. And then he comes back and goes, oh, can I take care of any mugs? And I was like, fuck.
And you're like, oh no.
He's going to see.
And think you didn't like it.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't let Lockie down because he was so
he
pumped.
was so stoked.
So I can't. And then also it actually was good. It wasn't like I was just pumping him up.
Yeah.
And like,
but it happens. You pop a tea down sometimes.
So I sculled it. A 2-hour-old tea. And I was like,
An herbal one though, at least. It wasn't a cold milky one. You know what my sister does?
It gets like like a skin. Is it the sugar or the oil of the milk?
I don't know, but it like separates.
Yeah,
it's fucking
and then it's got
rank.
this like thin layer of something across the cup.
Especially if you do an almond milk.
An almond milk or
really separates.
I don't know if it's pasteurized or unpasteurized, but one of them separates weirder than the other one.
Yeah.
And so it can look real dank. And you're right, that would have been harder. But then so he wasn't looking, so I sculled it. And then he came around and it was empty. And he picked it up and he was like, how's that? And I was like, that was, and like he knew that it was a killer cup.
That's good.
And I looked at him and I was like, mate, haven't left a drop in that. That was unreal. And he goes, yeah.
Normal or nah, coffee and tea in the fucking microwave.
No.
Absolutely not.
Nah.
My sister does this all the time because she'll have a sip and then she'll go, yeah, I'll keep going with that. And because she like just forgets or moves on, then she goes, oh, I'll just pop that in the microwave. The milk, there's something about the milk warming up in the microwave for me that just like sets my fucking soul on fire. And not in a good way.
Yeah. Set my soul on fire could mean many things in many different ways.
It's a bit Elvis. Set my soul on fire. It's like, Las Vegas.
It's like when I first saw her in that red dress, it set my soul on fire. But
instead it's like, oh, that's really boiled my kettle. That's pissed me off.
And that's on
imagine if you'd done that instead of putting it in the microwave.
Yeah, that's on topic sayings.
How was the tea I made you this morning?
Pretty good.
Was it all right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The thing about I love these big mugs.
These mugs, set my soul on fire.
These mugs set my soul on fire.
In the good way.
The mugs are probably the size of a tiny house. They're pretty big. So, are you okay? Like if a tiny house had a bowl.
Yeah. Like this is like a Great Dane's water bowl.
A German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Great Dane's
animal.
bigger, obviously.
Is
so
it?
That's where I went.
I just thought we were listing large dogs. I didn't know we were competing.
Nah, well, there's no competition because Great Dane's obviously
the dog
bigger.
From the greatest story of all time.
No, the dog from Beethoven.
What was his name?
Saint Bernard.
I think because the mug is so big.
It makes everything better.
Yeah,
this
but it throws your ratios.
Just makes me feel tiny.
Well, you are just a tiny woman. A tiny little girl. I think because it's so big that throws the ratio. So instead of having of honey, I could have actually, in hindsight, gone up.
Because by the time you put all that water in,
it dilutes.
I see what you mean. Well, I can adjust that for next time.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to hear something disgusting?
Literally always.
Jackie O, radio host here in Australia, does a morning show, Kyle and Jackie O. So up very early in the morning.
Yeah.
No, Jackie is from the Gold Coast, and they'll be the first to tell you they're like bogans and whatever.
They
know. She used to make her coffee the night before and then heat it up in the morning. Because, when you wake up at 4 a.m., you don't have time to,
Okay. I have something to say.
Toni Lodge. Just remember what you said about the microwave?
Yep. So sans microwave, but I would make my coffee at night time. When I worked in breakfast radio, I'd make my coffee at night time.
So I don't need to go to the mechanic. I got my car service 10 years ago in advance.
I'd make it at night and then I would just leave it in the fridge and then I'd just drink it in the morning. So I didn't even make it like an iced latte. It was like a hot coffee that then I would just have in the morning. Which is
it's a hot coffee that you just had cold.
Yeah. Which is not an iced latte. How come it's not?
yeah, that's a great point.
That's a great point. If you order a cold coffee and that's an iced latte, right? And delicious. If you order a hot coffee and then it goes stone cold, or you pop it in the fridge for the next morning, maybe, if someone was doing that. It's not the same. Why isn't it the same?
Great. It's the reverse bell curve. Very iced, delicious. Very hot, delicious. But in the middle, ooh, dang, not good at all. Because, okay, what's grosser? A cold coffee or a warm iced coffee? Yeah, doesn't that just fucking...
But how come the same temperature doesn't work both ways?
Yeah, it's the mystery of...
Because if you left a coffee out, it would, and then you took a sip, you'd go, fuck, that's cold. You wouldn't go, oh, that's tepid. You'd go, that is cold. So how come that's not the same? Like, I think that there's magic and science at play because it's not, it could go down to the same temperature.
Magic and science. Is it real or is it not? Art and science don't mix. You know.
How dare you? Have you seen Harry Potter?
All right, I have a theory.
Theory. It's the same as a question.
I think an iced coffee and a coffee aren't the same thing. They have a similar name because they have a similar taste. But maybe iced coffees are from a different world, coffee's from a different world, hence what you're saying. You can't cool a coffee down to an iced coffee. It grows. You go, imagine getting an iced latte and going, oh,
I'll just pop that in the microwave. Is it the textured milk?
No, they're separate things.
But is it the textured milk?
You've been lied to by Big Coffee. They want you to believe it's the same thing, but it's not.
No, because when you make an iced coffee, you just pour milk in. Whereas a hot coffee, you texturize the milk. I wonder if it's the textured milk that goes fucked when it's cold. This might be magic and science converging.
Together. Yeah. If you had have said to me the night before, I like pull a shot through, get the coffee ready, and in the morning, because you know how you have that like overnight cold brew kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's
awesome.
different.
And that's what I'm. Yeah,
because that sits in the beans and it like makes it stronger. Whereas just making a coffee cold. And then So I did. So I'm so sorry, but I used to do that. It's just brekkie radio, man. It's hard work.
Gets you. Yeah,
it does. Sometimes you just got to drink a coffee that's been in the fridge overnight. And I've always
said, looking back on that,
I was also really poor. Like I was getting paid like shit. Hated my fucking life. Like I couldn't afford to go and get a coffee in the morning. And I didn't have the time.
Looking back.
Yeah.
Does that just feel like sometimes you look back and you go, oh, that crappy old house and you know, we had a good time. But I just hear that
that's fucking rock bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that and I go, nah. Let's just quickly do a normal or nah just so we can.
What do you mean we've been doing normal or nahs all that time? Normal or nah, the coffee in the microwave.
Yeah. Jordan Lane has a normal or nah.
Hi, Jordan.
When I meet people with a foreign accent, I start using the accent without realising.
That's called echolalia.
What'd you call me? Echolalia?
Echolalia? I hardly know it.
I'm not mocking them. It's like I'm subconsciously trying to get on their level.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, I would hate to go to France with Toni if she knew Echo Shalia or whatever her name is.
Who?
Echolalia.
Yeah.
So that is real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real thing.
I'm never going to France with Toni Lodge. It would be the fucking end. It would be the end of France. The Olympics would close down.
Oh, don't say that.
Chelsea Rivet. What's it like hanging out with her?
Like a frog. Chelsea Rivet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's riveting time.
Oh.
The frog also good gear. It's the French. It's getting to you, bro.
Yeah,
it's getting to you, man. Yeah. Normal or nah? Feeling secondhand embarrassment every time someone's phone rings and they have a song as their ringtone. You know, that was a real big thing when we were little. Like, text 48478 to get this song sent to you for $7 a month.
Yeah. But I haven't heard someone's phone make noise in quite some time.
I always think they must be embarrassed, but older colleagues at work and boomers at family functions have no tact or shame.
Or, you know, when you pop your phone on loud because you're expecting a call and then you forget about it and then later on, like, your phone makes a noise and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you just haven't flicked it back over yet.
Well, during the live stream when I told people to call me because I was practicing being an emergency contact.
You put your phone on loud?
So we could hear it.
Yeah.
And then it rang and we all kind of looked at each other and went.
What does that mean?
What?
Why is it yelling at us?
Why is it? Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Hi, it's Shauna from Perth and you're listening to Toni and Ryan.
A huge, gigantic, massive shout out to all of our Patreons over at our Patreon. Wow, when they're called the same thing, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
You're one groovy baby.
Baby.
Too many babies.
A few of our champion tier Patreons that joined us for our Tapathon last weekend. So trying to get through. Jam, good on you, Jam. James Eden, Natalie Ainsworth, Rose Aurora, Hardly Noah, Cassidy Simmons, and Joe Evelyn. Good on you guys. Thank you so much for being part of our Patreon, and hopefully you joined us for the Tapathon. Over the weekend we did live stream inside of our Patreon until Australia won gold at the Olympics.
Yep.
Happened a lot sooner than maybe we anticipated.
I think we
But it was good.
Yeah, we didn't get tired drunk. 21 hours isn't like delirious.
No, but we'd started at 4 in the morning. So it was like such a long day, but then it was like, oh, you just finished at midnight, who cares?
Are
like,
you still a bit fucked?
Yeah, I feel like jet lagged.
I said to James, I think I'm still like one big sleep off.
I think
like coming right back.
Like normally in the morning, I don't really have trouble like waking up, but the last few days, like all this week, I'm like bleary-eyed in the morning.
Yep.
But I mean, the other thing that's probably not helping is that I'm fucking staying up late and watching the limp every day.
Isn't the limp and the time zone really just designed to fuck us at the moment?
So Torbs and I were talking about this, right? That last limp in 2021 in Tokyo.
Yeah, it's the same as us.
It's only an hour or two off.
Yeah.
So it was actually awesome because like you woke up in the morning and it started at 10.
Yeah.
And then it went till 7.
Fuck yeah.
And it was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like, this hasn't been a problem for ages. And Torbs was like, well, yeah, like fuck it. It's like basically Perth's time zone.
Yeah.
And then this one is like flipped over and it doesn't feel as exciting to watch the replays in the morning.
Nah, there's
because you go, well, I've already seen on the Daily Oz that the
we're
medalist
strict at our
is
house. So Bridget's setting timers, she's blocking stuff.
Yes, nice.
And so she's waking up at 6 and going, do you want to watch the replay of the 200 backstroke?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah.
Yeah, before anybody sees who won it.
I actually think Bridget and I will be in the advertisement for, you know, like if a telephone provider or Apple or something did an ad and there's like a couple that wakes up early to watch sport on an iPad in bed together. Isn't that just like the pinnacle of like selling an iPad?
Yes.
Like wake up and goes, oh, and like we're cheering it like, yeah, good on you, Kaylee McEwen. And it's just beautiful. But we're like, if I come home, she'll be like,
don't say anything.
Haven't seen the final of the rowing 400 sculls double chin yet, so shut the fuck up. And I go, okay.
Well, yeah, so we've been watching it at night time and like staying up late. Like the other night watching the tennis was like Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic and they fucking went for like it ended up going for like 2 hours and we're in bed like this.
Yeah.
like watching the fucking tennis. But I'll tell you what has really gotten us this year, this time round, the archery.
Really?
I've never watched it in my life. Couldn't even tell you like any of their names, any of the people that do it, any fucking of the favorites or anything. Yep. We watched every single heat, every round, every swim, whatever it's fucking
called. An arrow has not been shot from a bow without Toni and Torb's eyes locked on.
And we watched one and Torbs goes, it's pretty heavy, you know, the bow. And I went, how heavy is it? And then like the women's is a different weight to the men's.
Really?
And like, so it's like all this shit about archery, but we'd like never watched it before.
Are there different categories and stuff?
So there's just the men's and the women's, I believe. Yep. And then there's like, there was the heats and the medal round.
Yeah, gotcha, yeah. And so you've gone the journey?
We did the whole, like it was honestly, and aren't the fans from Hong Kong are incredible.
Hong Kong, one of the great countries in the world.
But they are fucking turning out. Every single time I've watched anything with like an athlete from Hong Kong, their fans in the crowd are fucking like geeing them up, holding flags, like just really good sports.
Can I drop some knowledge?
Please.
So there's been a lot of articles doing the rounds that like if an Australian wins a gold medal, they get like a $25,000 bonus.
Yeah.
Silver is 15, bronze 10 or whatever, blah, blah. I think America's like 40 grand for a gold medal. Have you seen what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
Hong Kong for a gold medal is what, $800,000?
USD.
US fucking D, which is about...
Azerbaijan, theirs is 300,000 USD for a gold.
Ours is?
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Are they winning any gold there?
Yeah, they won a gold yesterday in the... You know, it might have been archery. But yeah, no, it fucking wasn't. It was the judo.
Right.
Azerbaijan won the men's judo 65 kilo.
Oh, because what I...
Fuck, I'm good.
All right. I want in the episode thread today everyone to tell us, besides cups of teas and microwaves and Perth being of dry
Very
heat,
important, but...
also, what random sport have you just latched onto?
What have you grabbed with two fucking hands?
So Bridget's always been into the gymnastics.
Oh, that's
just so
my
good to watch.
highlight, yeah.
As I said last week, I love
An
the road,
Aussie guy,
the road race.
he
and the
did really
cycling.
well on the men's gymnastics.
But one thing we really got into was the diving and the synchronized diving in particular, because I don't know what it is about, like, they're all so jacked.
Yeah.
And I think it's
But still so elegant.
But yeah, the other sports, it's like adrenaline and power, but it's this like poise and patience and deep breaths. And there's like a little bit of twink energy in the spa when you watch the boys, you know what I mean? Like, it's just these specimens. How can someone be that short and jacked and hairless and 5'5" and beat anyone in a fight?
It's the connection to the other person.
Yeah.
How they're not looking at each other, they're not talking to each other, but there's just implicit trust.
And you know how the whole, like, similar to like golf when they're about to take a shot, it's like the whole thing goes silent.
Dead silent.
And you just see this, and 2, 1, jump and go. And then they kind of like
yeah,
do their
and then
thing.
there's like the splash, and then they get out of the pool. I think it's also the thrill of the fact that it's over so quickly. Like
Yeah,
it's a
bang,
split
bang, bang.
second and it's done.
And then I think what is great about diving is that we can know nothing about diving, but we can judge a splash
Oh yeah.
because there's no splash in you.
Oh, too big.
Yeah, you've nailed that
Yeah.
one. How much splash would we get if we synchronizedly jumped off the 10-meter platform?
I don't think I'd get up there. There's a lot of stairs.
Is there a lift?
Yeah.
Is that
Can someone like get me in a crane and
of
fucking
all the
flick me up
technology
there?
in sports? Why is there not an elevator up?
Why
to
are they still walking up the stairs?
Like fucking. That's why they're jacked.
Yeah.
It's not the training. It's
Yeah, it's
doing all the
walking up the stairs.
If we.
You get to the bottom, you're like, fuck, I gotta do that again.
If we did a synchronized pin drop from the 10-meter board,
yeah.
A, how synchronized would we be, and B, how big would the wedgie be? Because think of the pressure of us.
Hitting the floor.
Hitting
I'd
the
be split in half. He would just cut me in half.
Yeah, like a wire going through cheese. You know, and
That's really sweet of you. Thank you so much.
why you little bowl of cheese.
I'm just a tiny girl of cheese.
But just the diving is
Yeah.
just. All right, here's a challenge for us.
Yeah.
Would we, Tony Lodge,
Yeah.
Ryan Dunn, between now and the 2028 games in Los Angeles,
Could we, like, get on the games?
well, obviously not.
Okay. Dream a little bigger.
Would you like try and get this momentum, like continue this momentum?
Yeah.
And would you go to like the 2025 Australian Archery National Champs?
To compete? I think I could.
No, to what?
Oh. No,
To compete? Yes, I am in.
Yes, I think I
Yes.
could. Yeah. Is this the invitation
No, like
to
if you're an archery fan, let's go. 'Cause
Well, I'd
we need to
actually
support
like to
these
go
people.
and do it.
You want to do archery?
I think I'd be really good at it.
Are we going to have to cancel the annual tennis membership?
No, well, we didn't get the annual tennis membership,
No,
thank
that's right.
God, because we could go to archery instead.
Where's the nearest? Oh, there's archery in Boleyn. Oh, they took it down because that freeway.
Who's Boleyn?
But you know that big highway that's joining the ring road to the Eastern Freeway? That thing that's fucked Manningham Road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so first it's fucked my traffic to go see my
Yeah.
sister, and now the archery.
And now it's taken out
What's next?
It's taken out the Boleyn Archery Club.
Oh, my God.
Maybe they shoot over the freeway now.
Boo.
Yeah.
They could do it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I did appreciate was the Japanese winning gold in the gymnastics. Like the gymnastics is great.
The men's or the women's?
The men. I don't know if the Japanese women won, but specifically I saw the Japanese guys win.
Yeah.
Because they were the underdogs. The Chinese guys slipped and it was a heartbreak.
Oh,
and Japan were the underdogs. I've just sent you a picture.
Yeah.
The top comment is expecting some magic out of this lad. It's the Japanese gymnast, and what's his name?
His last name is Tada. Ta-da! And we love it. You know, I know Richard can swim, but can Richard funk?
Funk, yeah.
I fucking love these.
But so you know when in the gymnastics they kind of like stick the landing and they kind of do that like salute the judge, like they kind of
They do that, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that the ultimate like
Ta-da!
and flip? Ta-da!
The perfect sport for it as well.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't do a ta-da at the end of archery because your heart rate actually has to be so low. Same with the shooting.
Do they keep, is there a monitor on their
They've
heart
got
rate?
a heart rate monitor and you can see how low it is.
Of course they do. Do you reckon when we go to the archery championships next year, they'll have that available to us?
On me, because I'll be so excited. Popping right up.
What's your you love to see?
I've got you love to see here from Michaela, who actually it's Tarpathon related and it's very good. You'll like this, Ryan. Okay. Michaela says, I've been dating this guy since March.
I do like this. Good on you, Michaela. Get around him.
He was super sweet to start off with and also like a bit of a hottie.
Yeah.
But lately he's been a bit off and like starting to get a bit controlling and making like weird comments and like being judgy about who she was going out with and stuff. And she was like,
is this the thing I'm supposed to that I would like?
No.
Okay,
it comes back around.
Great.
So it got a bit random and Michaela was like, this is really fucked and I don't like this and I think I want to break up with him. Thanks to the amazing power of the Toni and Ryan podcast, I finally did it. When I told him last weekend that I was settling down to do nothing but watch the Tarpathon, he got really mad. According to him, and honestly, he's not wrong, she says, I care more about the pod than I do our relationship.
And who doesn't?
Michaela's now ex-boyfriend asked her to choose between him and watching the Tarpathon. And I quote from Michaela here, you better fucking believe I didn't choose him.
Fuck that guy. Michaela, you made the right decision.
That's what I said. And I replied to Michaela and I said, oh, well, you're a bit upset that I only went for 21 hours.
Yeah.
And she said,
well, he only went for about 1 minute each time,
yeah,
so I'll take
less
20.
than that. What are they doing it 3 times? Fucking cockhead.
50 seconds to get your belt off.
Yeah. Anyway, you love to see it. Michaela, huge. Look at us changing lives.
You know who hates us for the rest of his life, though? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beat that. Sorry.
Anytime one of our reels pops up, he's going to go, I dated a chick that chose these fuckheads over me. And then their friends are going to look him up and down and go, well, yeah.
Yeah. So Michaela, like, fucking rate it.
Yeah.
Good on you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I hope we were worth it.
Yeah. I hope we were worth it. No, good call. Great call. I think we've got a few spare Tarpathon hats. Let's write great choice, Michaela, and sign it. Or we'll send her something.
I'll be in touch, Michaela. We've been chatting via Patreon, so I'll be able to get in touch with Michaela.
Yeah, we'll hook you up. That's your fucking
love to see that. So good. I knew you'd like that. Didn't I do good?
You did really well.
Yay!
Tomorrow on the show, I'm actually not going to tell you what it is. I know we don't do pranks. It's not a prank, but there's something that you're like not going to love right away.
Okay.
It comes around.
Is it Michaela's boyfriend?
Yeah, he'll be hosting the show tomorrow.
No, he hates the show. We're hoping that he's coming around.
He's coming around.
All right. And video show tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's not like it's just like a warning for you, Toni Lodge.
For me specifically?
Yeah, that you know, I'm all good.
Oh.
But
God, luckily it's no danger of cold water in a hot tea. God, we'd all be going down.
Maybe there will be. It's just be warned that like there will be some discomfort, but I think we sometimes need to push through the discomfort to get to the good.
It's a fucking pap smear. Oh, spoilers!
Spoiler alert, James, get my gloves. All right, we'll chat to you tomorrow.
All right. Love you, bye.